guys, welcome to the second part of our palindrome tutorial creation. Let's dive right in straight. Okay, so we did our index, HTML and our CSS right here in the last tutorial. Now we're moving on to the JavaScript aspects of this whole project. So first we're going to get a couple of variables set. We're going to get our input. We want to get the value of our input here. We want to get this button so we can put an event. We can listen for an event. So yeah, so let's start. So we have const input. Then we're going to get the input over there. So query selector and say I have an idea of user input here, so we're going to do this and see user input like this. And I also want to get the button, so I'll say btn and also do a document query selector and say it has an ID of btn. So yeah, button. So then we basically want to check for a click on this button, and after that we'll get the value here and then tweak it a bit. So to do that, we're gonna get our button and we're gonna add an event listener to it, and we're going to listen for a click. So anytime the user clicks, we want to run this anonymous function right here. So what we're going to do is put an event object here to prevent the default functionality of a button. When you click a button, by default your page refreshes, but in this case when we have this there, this e.prevent default, it doesn't do that. See, when we click, page doesn't refresh. So we remove this and then we go back and then we click, page refreshes. Yeah, so we want to put that back like this, and then we want to get the value of our input. We're going to put that in another variable, say const okay, I'm going to do a let input value equal to input dot value like this, not no value. I want to get the value. And why do I just keep doing that? So then yes, and I want to reverse the input. We want the reverse form of the input, and then we want to compare that reverse form to the initial value that the user typed in. So to do that, we're going to use some string methods. So we're going to save that into a variable also. So we have const reverse like this, and we have an input file dot split. So what this does is to get each individual split by this. So what this does is to get each individual character of our string and place it into an array. Each character and place it into a single array. So when we have that, we can basically console.log, log into the console and see what we have. So first, and then I'm just going to type in sharpen like this and click here, and if you open our console, you can see we have an array of 8, and we have S, H, O, P, P, I, and J. So each character is broken into and placed into an array. So there. Then I want to call the reverse method on our array. What this does is to reverse the contents of our array, as the name implies. So I'm just going to type in sharpen again and click, and if you open our console, you see sharpen has been reversed to this. Then I want to join that reversed array back into a string. Now you always want to make sure that in order to make it a string again using the join, always make sure that whatever you separate it by is the same thing you join it by. So we have this and this. So the console, if we log into our console, okay, I'll just type civic here, include this, and in here I have civic. Okay, that didn't really show what's happening. So if I type shopping back again, I click, I have shopping, and this time it's turned upside down, and it's a string again. It's no longer an array of letters, it's a string. So then once we have that, we want to, I don't want to console log, I want to uh, create a conditional here to compare whether the user input and this reversed uh, string are the same thing. If they're the same, we have our palindrome. If they're not, we do not have a palindrome. So I want to do an input val, that's the user input this, and I want to I want to check if it's equal to reversed. So if that is true, then we can log into the console, say reversed, and then I want to also log to the console it is a palindrome like this. Else I want to still log my reversed to the console, reversed to the console, and I want to say it is not a palindrome. Yeah. So let's test that out and see what we get. So if I come here and I type in good and I click here and I check my console, you get Doug and it says it's not a palindrome. So yeah, our functionality is up and running. So that's basically it. But then the user doesn't see what is happening. The user has to go here in order to see that, and that is not what we want. We basically want it to appear on the screen that it's not a palindrome. So I'm going to go back to our HTML, and then outside the form I'm going to create a div with a class of this display here like this. Yeah, and basically when this happens, when we do our comparison and it's a palindrome, I want to create a paragraph and then place it into our this container here and display it onto our screen. So we want to create a child for this container over here. So I'm going to get that container const this, I'm going to name this, so this is equal to documents dot query selector class of this, and I want to come down here and create, okay, let's basically do all that in a function. Let's create function, name it creating elements, and in here I want to pass in the elements, I want to pass in the text that I'm going to give to that element, and I want to give it a parent. So here I'm going to create a variable, name it a, and this is going to be equal to our document elements. So we say document that create elements, and this is going to be element right here. We're going to pass an element into our as an argument, and then we're going to give the element some content. So we're going to say text content, and we're going to pass in text is equal to text, and then that to the parent. So parent a like this, and then I'm going to call this function up here so that when the comparison is done, we have this. So our element is going to be p, I'm going to hard code that. That's by default. And then the text is going to be reversed. Our reversed variable right here. And then the parent is going to be our this over here. This right here. This particular parent or container. And I also want to do the same thing when our word is not a palindrome. Basically want to do the same thing. So then let's go into our browser and try it out. So I have civic like this, which is a palindrome. So here we see civic. This is the reverse version of this word, and it's the same thing. So we have a palindrome. If I'm to open our console, you see it's just a palindrome over here. So then I'm also going to try another word. It says shopping again, and I'm going to click here. You see I have shopping here, civic shopping here, and see that this is not a palindrome because this is not equal to this. So we don't want to have this happening at the side of your screen. We want to incorporate it into our user interface. So what we're going to do is, for this, whenever the user clicks, we want to give this container over here some styles. So basically we're gonna get it. So I'm going to say this dot class list dot add, and I'm going to add let's name it this results like that. And I'm going to go into our CSS and so we'll go into our CSS and then we give it some style. So I want to get the class, set the class to display results.
Reverse game. Yeah. So me where you treat me like a junkie. So I cheated, but say if you trust me. You told me that I was your world. It's funny how he even used to say. You told me that he was your bestie. Damn, even lied to me. Look, I even had to kneel. But you figure you be woman of steel. I did.
So if we open our browser and we try this, you can see we have shopping here. Wow, but the style is not doing it. This will display results. If we try it again, then shopping here again, see we have this green background, green container with the white text, and all this. Our style is basically working. But then don't like the ways to the side. We want to put it under here, right here. So to do that, we basically have to go into our HTML and then change where the container is. I don't want it to be in our main. I want it to be on its own, standalone. And if you take a look, if you try doing all this, see that it no longer is at the side, but it comes down here. Then we can add some more styling to it to push it from the bottom of the top of the footer. So there we have relative, then I'll say let me say bottom 20 pixels, and then yeah, it moves higher. So then okay, sharpen like that. So yeah, that basically fixes it. So let's try it again. We have sharpen again, and we have this. And then we have sharpen again, and then you can see it keeps adding more sharpen to it. So we want to reset every time that the user clicks or focuses on our input tag. So we're going to go down here, and I'm going to create. I'm going to listen for an event on our input tag. I'm going to listen for the click event. So to listen for click. So whenever the user clicks on our screen, whenever the user clicks on our input, we want to reset the value of the this the display result. So let's say this dot text content. I'm going to set that to an empty string like this. I also want to remove the styling of our disk container, so I'm going to copy this and bring it up here and say dot remove like this, remove, yeah, and we test that out. We have shopping. If I do this, it's here. When I click, it disappears. Then let's try again. Another shopping. You see that the string here is not repeating, and also it removes. It doesn't stay on the screen. So basically, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hit the like button, subscribe to get more content from Programmify Everything, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.